Hey there, folks, grab a coffee and settle in, because I've got a story that'll make your jaw drop, your blood boil, and maybe even tug at your heart a bit. Picture this. A guy named Ethan Caldwell, just your average dude from Seattle, working a desk job, trying to keep his head above water in the city grind. One day, out of the blue, he gets a letter that changes everything: a deed to 50 acres of pristine forest out in Willow Creek, a sleepy little town 2 hours east of the city, left to him by his grandpa, Henry. Now, this wasn't just any patch of dirt. This was Blackthorn Woods, a place Ethan used to run wild in as a kid, chasing fireflies, climbing oaks, listening to Grandpa Henry's stories about how the land was his heart and soul, a sanctuary for every critter and tree that called it home. But here's the kicker. Ethan's about to find out that some folks will burn the world down to get what they want, and Blackthorn's about to become a battlefield. So, Ethan's sitting at his kitchen table, staring at this faded envelope, the kind you know carries something heavy. Inside, there's the deed, all official with its crinkly paper and red wax seal, but tucked in with it is a note in Grandpa Henry's shaky handwriting. It says, "Ethan, Blackthorn's more than land, it's a promise. The world's got its claws out for places like this. You're its keeper now. Don't let me down." Man, those words hit Ethan like a freight train. He hadn't thought about Blackthorn in years, not since he was a kid racing through the ferns. But now? Now it's his, and he's got this gnawing feeling in his gut, like he's just inherited a ticking time bomb. Fast forward a few months, and Ethan's trying to balance his city life with this new responsibility. He's making weekend trips out to Willow Creek, checking on the woods, clearing fallen branches, soaking in the quiet that Seattle could never offer. It's peaceful, you know? The kind of place where you hear nothing but wind rustling through the pines and maybe spot a deer slipping through the shadows. But every time he drives out, he notices more for sale signs popping up on the roads around Willow Creek. Subdivisions are creeping closer, cookie-cutter houses eating up the fields, and Ethan can't shake Grandpa Henry's warning. They'll come for it, Ethan. Be ready. One crisp October morning, Ethan decides to head out to Blackthorn for a quick escape. He's got his thermos of coffee, his old pickup rattling along the dirt road, and he's thinking about how he used to build forts out here with his cousins. But as he pulls up to the gate, something's wrong, real wrong. The gate's hanging off its hinges, like someone rammed it with a truck. The road's torn up with deep tire tracks, and when Ethan steps out, his boots sink into churned-up mud. His heart's pounding as he walks toward the clearing, and what he sees stops him cold. 2 acres of Blackthorn gone. The towering oaks he used to climb, reduced to stumps. The air smells like diesel and despair, and there's a bulldozer parked like it owns the place, its metal teeth glinting in the sun. Ethan's snapping pictures, hands shaking, when a shiny Range Rover rolls up, kicking up gravel. Out steps a woman, mid-40s, sharp suit, blonde hair pulled back so tight it looks like it hurts. She's got this smirk, like she's already won. "Can I help you?" she says, like Ethan's the one trespassing. He squares his shoulders and says, "This is my land. What the hell's going on here?" She doesn't even blink. "Your land? Honey, this is Willow Grove Estates, property of Crestview Builders. We bought it fair and square." Ethan's blood runs cold. "Bought it? That's impossible. This is Blackthorn Woods, been in my family for decades." She pulls out a tablet, shoves it in his face with some fancy-looking deed, but Ethan's not dumb, spots the parcel numbers wrong, and the signature's a scribble that sure as hell isn't his grandpa's. "This is fake," he says, voice low, trying not to lose it. Her smirk falters, just for a second, but then she doubles down. "Take it up with the county, sweetheart. I've got a development to run." Ethan's had enough. "I'm calling the cops," he says, pulling out his phone. Her eyes flash with panic. "The police? You're making a big mistake. You have no idea who you're messing with." But Ethan's already dialing, and as she storms back to her Rover, he catches her name from the logo on her tablet. Miranda Holt, CEO of Crestview Builders. The cops show up, check Ethan's deed, and shut the whole operation down on the spot. Miranda's fuming, yelling about misunderstandings, but the damage is done. Blackthorn's scarred, and Ethan's trust in the system is shaken. Back home, he's barely slept when a courier drops off a letter from some high-end law firm. It's from Miranda, claiming Crestview owns Blackthorn through something called adverse possession, basically, saying they've been using the land so long it's theirs. It's a bold-faced lie. They've been there maybe a month. The letter offers to buy Blackthorn for pennies, or else they'll drag Ethan through court for years. He's furious, but out of his depth, so he calls up Sarah Nguyen, a lawyer friend from college who's made a name for herself fighting shady developers. Sarah dives in, and what she finds is a gold mine of dirt. Crestview's permits? Forged. Their environmental reports? Made up. And get this, Miranda's been slipping cash to a local zoning guy to rubber stamp her projects. Sarah's like, Ethan, this isn't just trespassing. This is a crime scene. But Miranda's not playing nice. Ethan starts getting anonymous letters calling him a deadbeat for neglecting Blackthorn. His truck's tires get slashed, and one night, a brick sails through his apartment window with a note. Sell or regret it. On social media, Crestview's PR machine paints him as some greedy loner blocking progress for Willow Creek. Ethan's stressed, barely sleeping, but every time he thinks about giving up, he sees Grandpa Henry's note in his mind. Don't let me down. Sarah's not backing down either. She digs up emails from Miranda to her team, and they're brutal. One says, Caldwell's a nobody. Start building, and we'll deal with him when he cries. Another brags about bribing the zoning guy. Make sure he's happy, and we're golden. Sarah's got Miranda cornered, but the real game changer comes when local environmental groups catch wind of the story. They're livid about Blackthorn's destruction and start rallying, holding protests outside Crestview's offices with signs like Save Blackthorn and Greed Kills Nature. The local news picks it up, airing drone shots of the wrecked forest, and suddenly, Ethan's not alone anymore. Miranda, desperate, slaps Ethan with a countersuit, claiming he's the one who let Blackthorn fall apart. It's a weak move, and Sarah tears it to shreds in court. The trial's a circus. Willow Creek's never seen anything like it. Sarah lays out the evidence like a prosecutor in a movie. Ethan's deed, land surveys, those damning emails. She brings in ecologists to talk about the rare bats and wildflowers that Crestview bulldozed. The knockout punch. The zoning guy, now facing jail time, spills everything about Miranda's bribes. Miranda's sitting there, her perfect facade cracking, whispering furiously to her lawyers, but it's over. The judge's ruling is a hammer. Miranda's guilty of fraud, bribery, environmental crimes, you name it. She's sentenced to 7 years in prison, and Crestview's hit with $4 million in fines, plus the cost of replanting every tree they destroyed. As she's let out in cuffs, she shoots Ethan a look of pure venom, but he just stands there, feeling the weight of Grandpa Henry's promise lift off his shoulders. Blackthorn's healing now. Volunteers from Willow Creek show up every weekend, planting saplings, clearing debris. Kids from the local school come out to learn about conservation, and there's a new plaque at the entrance. Blackthorn Woods protected forever. Ethan walks the trails sometimes, seeing the first green shoots where the bulldozers tore through, hearing birds again. It's not the same, not yet, but it's coming back. Willow Creek's changed. 2 corrupt officials are gone, and new laws make sure developers can't pull stunts like Miranda's again. Ethan's no hero, just a guy who kept a promise. But folks in town look at him differently now, like he's proof you can fight the big dogs and win. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night. Miranda's in jail, sure, but there's always another Miranda out there, isn't there? Someone with a checkbook and a smirk, thinking they can buy whatever they want: your land, your memories, your home. Ethan won, but what if he hadn't? What do you think? Can one person stand up to that kind of power? Or was Ethan just lucky? Drop a comment. Tell me your take. Maybe share a story of your own about fighting for something that matters. Hit that subscribe button if you're into real stories like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay true, folks.